let's just get right into it tonight. So, how are we all doing? Let's just go. Let's just get into it straight away. Hello Zul, hello Big Shark. Right, we're going to be working on this shot of Jude yelling about how he's out of ammo. Back again. It feels good to be back. Somebody ring the weed burner? For those of you that don't know, I recently bought a new weed burner for my garden to burn weeds, obviously. And I'm a little bit obsessed with it because it's like a little flamethrower. And it's awesome. Hello Mikey. Let me know if if my voice and the music is balanced well. I always get worried that the music's like drowning out what I'm saying. So I finally finished the big 3D shot of this episode, which I admit I didn't think I was going to be able to finish that before I started it. I was like, oh god, how am I going to do this? But we're past it now. And for the sake of not spoiling what the final product looks like, I'm not going to show it until the episode's out. So some people in the chat I might have shown behind the scene. So Big Shark says you need to make that a shirt, Jack. Did somebody ring the weed burner? Hello Gary. He said I can't join, I'm in Baltimore, therefore out of Wi-Fi. Hope to catch you next week if I can. Hype 3D, says Paley. Gary, okay, enjoy Baltimore. Hope you're having fun, whatever you're doing. So let's get this done. I just realised that the background has some stuff there. Right, good old Jude. Hello Hawkins family. Mr. James. We had fun live streaming last night over on his channel on Jurassic Unicast, ranking the the human deaths in the Jurassic Park movies, which was a good laugh. I especially liked James's description of Zara being like a what's it if you swallow, like, which is like a Cheeto if you're in America. Like swallowing a Cheeto. Yeah, it was good fun. I did post about it on my community, the community tab on my channel. So if anyone wants to go back and watch that, it's over there. Sweet. I should really actually put oh no, actually I should just zoom in, wouldn't that be easier? Oh, you can kind of see how I cut this up when I was editing it. I realised when I was going through like what remains of episode 4, there's actually still quite a bit to do. We are like in the ending, but there's a fair bit I need to go back and add in the episode in terms of frames. So that December date looks more and more like it's getting further and further away. But We'll see. We'll see. But you know, I want to get it right, so it'll be done when it's done. Give him some moobage. Palace says, I'm beyond excited to see episode 4. That trailer made it my favourite episode of the series. We haven't seen it yet, but I think if it all works out, this might be my favourite episode of the series so far. It's definitely been the most ambitious. On the job filmmaking says, hello Jack, it's been a while, sorry I haven't been attending the streams. That's cool, but you've changed your name. I've never seen on the job filmmaking. Who is this? What was your previous handle? Have you found a new clock, a quiet one? Oh Jesus Christ, no I haven't. Just yeeted the clock out of here. Ah, Harrison, there you go. Harrison McCarthy. Yeah, welcome back, man. So you can change your name back to on the job filmmaking if you want. So let's see what's going down in Streaming Town. Let's get that again. Big Shark says, so do you believe the Jedi are problematic as well? Yes. I mean, the films make that perfectly clear, especially Revenge of the Sith. You had a fresh trim, says James. Yes, yeah, today. God, it felt so good. It's because I've got this new job where I'm working from home all the time. So like, I was getting used to that. So I didn't have any time to like go out and get my. Well, I did, but like I wanted to concentrate on my job. So my hair grew really long, and then I was like, you know what? I was wearing this baseball cap for a long time because just to hide the mop on my head. And so yeah, so today I had it cut, and just the weight off my head just feels so good. And I even joined a gym, which was like the first time ever in my life. I hadn't been to a gym, like actually been inside a gym and used the facilities since high school. I've worked out and stuff since then, but just like actually joining a gym. So I joined one because obviously working from home all the time, you're sat at the computer all the time. I just felt like absolute crap. Eating bad. I was like, this needs to change. So I made it. Gotta be responsible. So yeah, I'll be doing that twice a week. Early in the morning, get up at like 6, go down to the gym for an hour. It does make you feel much better before starting the day. I will say that. It's just I better hope that the baby has not kept me up until like 4 in the morning and then I have to get up for the gym. Paolo says the Jedi are stuck too closely to their old beliefs and traditions instead of modernising them, coupled with their collective pride and arrogance. Yep. Plus they're fundamentalist extremists. The very fact that they keep banging on about balance, there needs to be balance in the universe, and what does that balance entail? Killing the Sith. It's like, okay, that doesn't seem like balance to me. Like any whiff of a Sith they get, they're like, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. I guess that's the point, isn't it? Because Luke reconciles with the Sith, so like with his dad, and that's what brings balance to the Force. Ah, isn't it nice? And there was no other stories beyond that. Hello, Alex. He says, I'm telling man, this is what your series needs. A T-Rex with an hourglass waist, pink dress, high heels, long smooth legs, and full pouty lips. I feel like that's some sort of fan fiction that I do not want to go down. Goddamn sexual tyrannosaur. Mikey says the problem with the gym is when it's crowded, people hog the machines. That's why you got to go early. There was like no one in there really early in the morning. I mean, the gym next to us is like open 24/7. So even like at 3 in the morning, if I wanted to work out, I could go there. Which does seem quite appealing. Harrison asks, so what's your thoughts on an R-rated Jurassic World anthology series? I'm not fussed by it, but what's the medium? What are you imagining? Comic books? TV series? Movies? Either way, I'm like not really fussed because I don't watch Jurassic to be R-rated. I watch Jurassic for the fun adventure. Hello, hot creamy fart. I think I might have made his nose a bit too big. I'm just going to leave Alex's point in the chat just lingering. Harrison said, I mean, everyone is always talking about it and I don't really see the catch. Like you said, I watch Jurassic for the fun scenarios and interesting characters. The thing is, it's like, if it comes to R-rated, it's like, what's the point? Like, what's it adding? How is it going to enhance Jurassic as you, like, people know and love it already? It's like, what, you want to see more blood? Or nudity? Or swearing? Or drug taking, like really hardcore drug taking, because that's one of the reasons, that's one of the ways you can get an R rating. Like, would that feel like Jurassic if that was happening? Everyone just assumes R rating equals gore, but it's like that might not be the case. Like, you could get an R rating Jurassic if it was all about how Nick Van Owen turned into a junkie, and it's like about him scoring and like getting high on the side of a road. He's like got a belt around his arm and everything. Like, that would get you an R rating because they don't want to show like drugs to like that, like hard drug taken to kids. With no gore in it whatsoever. He's frothing at the mouth, snorting coke off a toilet seat. Is that what we want to see in our Jurassic movies? Heck yes. Yeah, scrap what I'm saying. I want to see a story, an R-rated Jurassic movie that follows Nick Van Owen, the junkie. He's living on the streets of California in like a tent city, just scoring drugs. Just watching the world go by. And the only hint of dinosaurs you get is on like a TV in the background on the news. about how like they're on the mainland now. Oh, maybe even better than Nick Van Owen. What if it's Timmy? And like the film follows Lex like going to like visit him in rehab. It's like ends up becoming like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but with Timmy in like rehab. I don't want to fucking talk to you, Lex. Just leave me the fuck alone. That's what he's screaming. Mom, Dad, you all judge me, but you don't know what I've been through. Tim, I do know what you have been through. I was there, remember? Yeah, but not all of us can move on, Lex. Help me, Lex. Help me. See, that's what we want to see. Tim the junkie. Right? That's the R-rated everyone asked for. That's what the directors are going to get now. When I speak to Colin next, I'm like, oh yeah, the fans always talk about R-rated, and I finally worked out it's not the gore they want. They want to see like really hard drug taking. They want to see a scene where like a guy looks on his CCTV camera footage and sees like Timmy jerking off into a bush outside. He said, "Get off my lawn, you junkie!" Sounds like threatening him with like a baseball bat. Come on, who wouldn't want to see this Jurassic movie? Instead of American History X, it's Jurassic History X. Get some like frickin' Nazis in your movie. Come on. Again, like everyone assumes gore. It's like, oh, an R-rated Jurassic. Oh yeah, that's seeing the blood and guts. And nah. It's seeing hardcore drug taking. It's seeing real world issues like played completely straight. Alex says I'd like to see a new live-action caveman film with stop-motion dinosaurs a la Harryhausen, you know, as a throwback homage. I'd love to see like a modern dinosaur movie, like an old school one like that, but it's the dinosaurs are all walking upright, but they're done in like really good CGI. We actually got a good image of that in Fallen Kingdom when the Indoraptor is in the cage. It stands up on its hind legs and like leans on its tail, and it looks like an old school monster. I think they did that deliberately. Done the lighting on him yet. Amber Production says we've only seen the dinosaurs drugged. Yeah, exactly. We've only seen the dinosaurs drugged. Let's see the humans drugged up now. I mean, Owen technically got drugged, so that he did. Owen, who's quickly becoming potentially my favourite character of the series. Yeah, you heard that right. You heard that right, folks. Paolo says, interesting, how so? Because Owen... Okay, so like his character is designed to be like Muldoon rolled in with a dash of Grant and a dash of Malcolm. Plus he's awesome. Like he's like an Indiana Jones type character. And he goes on all the adventures, he's like an action hero star, and he's... I don't know, I just find him really charismatic to watch, and plus like he just does so much awesome stuff that I'm just like, what's not to like with this character? Like, he doesn't have a... Like Grant, okay, for example, Grant's great in the first film, but then you have to contend with Grant in Jurassic Park 3, and for me it's like, Grant in Jurassic Park 3 has some good character moments, but then he has one of the worst, which is he falls for the exact same trick again of the chick being flashed in his face for his dig site, and it's like, this is just poor building on the character. It's like, nah. So it's like Grant needs to be built up, you know. Obviously I can't talk about Dominion. And Malcolm's like, he was my number one, but I think Grady has taken it, just because Malcolm doesn't... Like, Malcolm in the Lost World is fun, but then once the sort of trailers go over the cliff, he sort of... I don't know, he doesn't... He just sort of takes a bit of a back seat for the adventure. I mean, not in, like, his physical presence there, but, like, it's not... There's more they could do with him, and I wish they'd, like, lent more on the fact of, like, him from the book, like, talking about his theories on dinosaur extinctions, on sauna, and how their behaviour is gonna, you know, kill them all. The film just sort of... I love The Lost World, don't get me wrong, but it is just, like, goes into, hey, we have to stop them building a second park, and it's like, there could have been a much more interesting movie there, with Malcolm as a character. Yeah, I don't know, there's just something about Owen that I really like. I like the Indiana Jones-ness to his character. I like the action hero-ness. Just find it really appealing. It's right up my alley. Did Jude break his wrist? Well, you mean this one here? Like the one in the foreground? No, he's like that. He's showing the contents of the... Is that right? Does my wrist look broken? He's like that. So it's like... Well, it's from that angle. Like that. He's like, I'm out of ammo. Harrison said, Jack, how did you break your wrist? Maybe, let's have a look. Let's see if we can make it so it doesn't look like his wrist is broken. So what would it need to be like? That. Would that be better? Or that? So I'm just imagining like doing this. What's this? Like, is this the better one, or is that the better one? There or there? One or two? One or two? Two being like this. I think one personally, but. Oh, now we've got Paolo again. It's looking as good as it was. Might just need like a little change like that. Just a little bit. Yeah. I think that'll be it. Is anyone into James Bond here? Asks Harrison. Not massively, but I've like watched a lot of the movies. I've actually got a couple of the movies on Laserdisc, but I wouldn't say like I'm a huge James Bond fan, but yeah, I've definitely watched a lot of James Bond over the years. Sweet, right, let's add the pinkage to his head from where he got slapped by the Megaraptor. Actually, that's a bit too strong. Just needs to be subtle because it's like healing. And then add some beads of sweat. That Burke sweat, as we call it. That 90s, 80s sweat, which you don't really see much in movies anymore. Harrison says you're British, isn't it? Like, essential. Yeah, in the UK, if you haven't watched every single James Bond, you get sent to the towers. The Tower of London. You get taken to the dungeon. And then you wait there for like 14 days. And then you get hung, drawn and quartered. Oof. It's a nasty way to go. Yeah, that's good. He looks like an engineer from Alien. Alex says, Covenant pissed me off. Alien Covenant he's talking about. Still haven't learned why we were created. Because they could. That was answered when that was sort of hinted towards when David was talking to what's his face? Next to the pool table. I've forgotten the character's name now. And he's like, we made you because we could. And imagine hearing the same thing from your creators. Might just add a slight gradient overlay of... That's a slight gradient overlay right there. Look at that. Of orange. Because there is meant to be light streaming in from behind them. Trying to match the lighting kind of to this. Yeah, I think we got it. That'll do. Alright. Add a shadow. See you later, Harrison. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming back. Alex says, because we could was speculation between two outside observers. I want the engineer given account of why they created us. I think it's better left as a mystery. And the fact that I think it is heavily hinted at, you know, the whole we made you because we could. Right, so there we go. Flatten that image. Right, that's that done. And we'll save that as... I need to save that. What number is this? I believe this might be the longest episode of Dino-Defenders as well once it's released. Probably not by a lot, but it's definitely going to be up there. It's definitely got the most frames. That much is true. Okay. That is that done. Although I might just try tweaking the lighting a bit on his eyes, so they got to be the focus. I wonder if I should add a little glow to this. Oh, wrong one. Maybe it's a bit too thick. Tell you something about what I've been watching recently. Me and Daphne, my daughter, we are currently working out our way through Godzilla the series, you know, the Godzilla 98 animated series, and it's really good. It's a lot of fun. It's really cheesy, but oh, there's some great moments in it. What's interesting is the episode that we watched, well, we watched a couple of episodes today. There was one where they went to Scotland, to Loch Ness, and the Loch Ness monster was this like prehistoric kaiju dinosaur that had been living for millions of years. And this like scientist had stole its baby, and Godzilla was fighting the Loch Ness monster. That was fun. And then the one after that was set in Japan, so Godzilla went all the way to Japan, and the characters are like, why is he going to Japan? And there's this like great gag where like this like kid on a plane looks out of the window, this little Japanese boy, and he looks out and he's like, oh mummy, Godzilla, like this, and she's like, no, Godzilla isn't in Japan, why the heck would he come here? And it's like a kind of like a tongue-in-cheek joke that Godzilla was obviously from Japan originally, but in this universe it's like he's from America, so like, yeah, they're poking sort of fun at that, which I thought was nice. But then he fights a giant gorilla, and it's like Kong, and like the gorilla even beats Godzilla at one point, and then does the jaw hinge thing, like looks in his jaw, and then Godzilla just blasts him in the head with his atomic breath, and then it blasts the ape, and he's like completely on fire, and they're like, oh my god, that's a horrible way to go, and he's like screaming, and he's on fire. All his skin melts off, and he's a giant Mechanicon, like a giant robot monkey. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then he starts fighting the giant monkey. And then what's interesting about this is, and I feel like this has something to do with Godzilla versus Kong, there's this King Cobra kaiju in this episode that looks exactly the same as the ones from Godzilla vs. Kong that are flying around in the Hollow Earth, like almost one for one. See if I can pull it up. Oh yeah, here we go. Right, and then wonder if... Yeah, do they have a good picture of it? Okay, so you've got this thing in Godzilla versus Kong, right? I'm just going to up this so we can actually see. So you've got this... Oh, go on. You got this thing here, right? It's like winged bat thing. And then in the episode where Godzilla fights a mechanic, like a giant monkey in this series, you've got this thing. It's like exactly the same. It's like the same bloody thing. Except it doesn't really fly, but I guess down there the gravity's different or whatever. And is there like an actual picture from the episode though? Yeah, here you go. Wait, I wonder if they got one of the monkey. But yeah, there's another image of it. And then is it? I don't know if they gave it a name. They didn't call it Kong. But yeah, he looked like this in the episode. So he's like this big... Looked really cool. And then I'm trying to see if I can find a shot where he's got like the skin. Yeah, that's kind of a small picture, but like he loses his fur. And it's like, he looks like that. And I was like, isn't that interesting that like, in Godzilla vs. Kong, you've got Mecha Godzilla, and then this episode, you've got Godzilla versus essentially Kong, but they just don't name him. Like this like version of Kong, who becomes Mechana-Kong or Mecha-Kong. And then you've got these like things flying around, the snake King Cobra things that just look exactly the same as this. So... I feel like the director was a fan. So many links. And we are coming up to the episodes. We're in the series where we're coming up to the episodes where they take the body of the Godzilla who died in Godzilla 98 and then they turn it into a giant cyborg, and then this baby Godzilla fights the original Godzilla, who's like a cyborg. Which is great. It's like a trilogy. It's called the Monster Wars or something. It's like a trilogy of episodes, which I've seen before. And I watched many of these episodes when I was a kid, when it was back out in 1999. But I haven't watched them like solidly from start to finish in years. So I watched one or two episodes when I got the DVD set, but like I've never sat down and properly watched it from start to finish. So that's what we're working on doing. Right, I'm going to call this lines. We want it to be 9 thickness. To a 9 thickness. Yeah, that'll do. One of the like nostalgic things about Godzilla the series for me as a kid is there's this crappy like yellow robot in the series called Nigel, and it's like Kenny from South Park. It always gets destroyed every episode, which is like a running gag in the thing. Like, and that's how they get like kills in the episodes without actually killing anyone really. Although, like, they do hint towards people dying. But there's this, the scientist, I forget his name now. Craven. Is it Craven? He's in the movies, the guy who's got, like, the summer cold. Like, he he's in the series, and whenever this robot like gets destroyed, he goes, Nigel, 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 and like it's nostalgic for me because me and my friend Ross used to say that all the time. Nigel. Big Shark says, not long ago I met the guy who played the Shredder in the movies. What, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies? What, the live action ones or the old 90s ones? Of which I've seen none of those movies. Oh, cool. I know Clayton has been, back in the day when we were doing those commentaries, he was like trying to get me to watch the old Ninja Turtles movies on a live stream for the first time. Maybe one day we'll get around to it. But yeah, I've never seen them. Nigel! What's also fun about this like Godzilla series is they have this like race of aliens in it which are like recurring characters, and it's funny to think like because it's like technically canon with the '98 movie, it's just funny to think that there's like aliens and stuff in it. It is better than the '98 movie in terms of like the like what it does with Godzilla as a character and all that. The '98 movie is obviously very nostalgic, and I really do like it in certain ways, and not like it in other ways. But the this animated series is very good. I know some of the cast come back to do voices. I know the guy who plays the mayor came back, and the guy who played the corporal, you know, the guy who plays the dad in the Transformers movies, he came back, did some voices. I think a couple of others as well. Ugh. She got that broken hand. Just trying to work out like how her hand should be placed. Let's try again. Yeah, I used to watch some of the Men in Black cartoon back in the day. I think that one was way more stylized and a bit more wacky, but that's obviously because Men in Black is a bit more wacky. Not that that's a bad thing. It'll be something I might check out in the future. Why can't I think how her hand's meant to be? Spawn cartoon I used to watch when I was a kid. They used to be on one of the Sky channels back in the day, and I remember when I was a kid seeing that and I was like, ooh, blood, ooh, boobs. And I didn't remember any of the plots or anything in the episodes, because all I was, when I was a kid, I was like, ooh, blood and guts, ooh, nudity in a cartoon. You know what? I'm gonna have to look up hand on shoulder. So have a look for some references. Oh look, I just found a picture of Nigel. Look, it's Nigel. Nigel, and he's the guy who says it. That's when they unveil him for the first time, if I remember correctly. Okay, I've got a good reference image here. I was looking at it more from an angle, too much of an angle. Right, so let's just do like a version of this. When are we gonna review Bovril on Pot of Tea? Good God, no. Never. Bovril. Open up a... want her face sort of looking forwards. Yeah, this one's pretty close actually. Well, actually I could use that, couldn't I? Could use that one. That is dead on straight. It's a man's drink. Bovril. To be fair though, I only remember Bovril from drinking it when I was a kid, so, and being like, ugh. So maybe, now that I am a man, I am a father, maybe I'll be won over by it. No. Yeah, actually. You know what? Because I can clean it up. What I'm going to do is I'm literally going to copy this layer from here to here to here. Copy and put that under. What's this? That was the colours. Put that under the lines. Why is that not working? Oh, duh, because it's on that layer below. You know what I want to see? I want to see an R-rated Godzilla 98 animated series. You know? Who wouldn't want to see Nigel doing lines on a Coke toilet with Craven coming in? He's like, Nigel! Nigel! No! What are you doing, Nigel? Hey, would you look at that? Big Shark says, I remember back in the day someone asked you, how big are you going to make Kate's breasts? Yeah. Yeah, we've come a long way. Right, so let's get her. Hair. So she has it, it's like... Probably should do that. And then, like, bring it around like this. Wait, how does her hair look? Yeah, there we go. From the front, let me get rid of that one. I want to kind of match that like this, and then up like that. Then let's get her eyebrows. She's got like these black eyebrows, doesn't she? Go Big Jack. Enormous bazungas. Cue the Fatboy Slim song. Which Fatboy Slim song? God, I haven't listened to Fatboy Slim in years. Alright, we have come a long, long way together through the hard times and the rain. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should. Sounds like a simp song. Yeah, that's right, that's right. I'm still riding the simp lingo train on the internet that probably died a year ago. Fatboy simp. There's the name for the stream, Fatboy Simp. With just a picture from Nigel from the animated series of Godzilla. People will be like, what the fuck am I looking at here? What are these streams? Oh god. Fatboy Simp. Did anyone pick up on the cleverness of the title from last time when I did a stream? Did anyone pick up on it? I want to see if anyone knows what I'm hinting at here. The absolute big brain genius title that I gave the last stream. That I did on this channel. Dodge this, yeah. Because we were talking about the Matrix, so I called it Dodge This. But I didn't only call it Dodge This because of the Matrix, because I was painting Hunter dodging the Megalosaurus bursting in through the door, if I remember correctly. He was jumping out of the way of the Megalosaurus, so he was dodging something. Get it? It's big brain title for my stream right there. Bablam. Because I knew what I was going to be painting and talking about. So it's just like that's the kind of genius people expect, and then in this one they're going to get FATBOY SIMP and the picture of Nigel from Godzilla 98 cartoon, and they'll be like, what happened? Unfortunately, Hot Creamy Fart, we don't have Dodge cars in the UK. You have to import them. So I won't be doing any dealerships anytime soon with them, unfortunately. As much as this channel is obviously tailor-made to that demographic, you know, the Dodge lovers. Unfortunately. Unless you know our glorious nation of the UK, now that it's sovereign, maybe we make a deal with the Dodge. I could be talking out my arse here. I don't know if there's no, I know that people, I don't know if you have to import a Dodge, but it could happen. If old Boris wants to be based, he could do that for me. Feel like her lips have changed colour, but I don't know if it's just because of the lighting. Yeah, we'll keep them like that. Keep them light. Keep them light. Keep them full. Yeah, we should Hot Cream Fans says the only solution is to offer Greater England, Scotland and Ireland statehood so that the British can now fully enjoy American brands and Americans can simp for the Queen. Not Wales though. You know what? I'm going to say that's a great idea, but let's leave Scotland out as well. Scotland's a lost cause. Trust me. You don't want to import the not the Scottish people, but this, well, I guess they're to blame for this, but you don't want to import that Scottish leadership. Ugh. Ugh. James says, Christ, still painting. Yeah, man, I paint for 3 hours every Friday. I've done it for 6 before. Even longer. I've been painting for years, dude. It's not just because I've been painting this since 2017. Help me! Help me! Yeah. No turning back. Yeah, you're goddamn right. I'm seeing this through to the end. I can smell the ending now. Not the end of episode 4, I'm talking about the end of the series. When I finish episode 5 in 2026. Hot Creamy Fart says, have you seen your passive sketching improve over 3 years of dedicated work? How happy are you with drawing people now? I'm very confident with drawing people. I know I had like some help with the hand there, but it's like if I was to really sit down and try and draw a person as realistically as possible, I'm pretty confident I'm a lot better than I used to be. But like it's interesting because we're drawing Kate here. And a lot of it is like once I've drawn a version of her, I can, you know, copy the angle and all that sort of stuff. But like that was the first ever version of Kate I drew. She maybe looked a little bit more bug-eyed, had a bit more of a pointy chin. But then she is angling her head down, so I had to like imagine what she looked like with her head up. And so her look evolved a little bit over time to sort of this look here. And that's how it sort of remained. But the thing is, you like Jude, for example, like one of the frames, okay, I'm going to go, when I stick all the episodes together, once I've got everything done, one of the frames, if I can find it, that I'm going to redo because it's shit, is this frame here. Look at this frame. Look how awful this is. This is so bad. Look at Jude. He's like grey hair. He's got like grey hair. His arm is busted. The paint is all like, look, there's pixels. Like that is just bad. I mean, I guess it wasn't meant to start there. It was meant to start like here or something. But it's just, I want to redo that frame. It just looks garbage compared to like what some of the later frames are looking like. Sexy doctor vibes. Yeah. Poor Jude's head. Yeah, I know, right? But then you get to like episode 4 and like, I don't know, we're getting to frames like this where it's like, you know, the characters are more defined and recognizable. And like, yeah, a lot cooler. The lighting's better. Like it just looks a lot more appealing to look at than that previous frame. Obviously it's still not perfect compared to like other people's drawings and stuff, but you know, watching this like old Godzilla cartoon, there's glitches and characters don't look right all the time, so it's not like to set the bar low, but it's to be, you know, if it looks like it works with what the story I'm trying to tell, then I'm like, yeah, that'll do. But like there's frames I go back to in episode 1 and I'm like, nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's funny. Let me see if I can pull up an image. Talking about like me learning. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this one. Look at this. So like that was back in 2017 when I was like sketching out, and I got this far and I realised this is not working. Look at these thick black outlines. It looks awful. And then it evolved into this, where like I'd manipulated Hank on the side, and Wesley was looking a little bit more like Wesley, but then it eventually turned into like this. So I completely redid Hank. I was like, I took a picture of myself leaning forward. I was like, this needs to look more dynamic. I redid the background, and like it just looks much better. Much better. The edge is like all blurred because the thing's moving, so it's like rocking around in the helicopter. But yeah, that was from episode 1 back in the day. It's just funny, that process. And it's funny though, I think the first frame I did of a person ever is the first frame you ever see a person in, which is the one with John sat in the helicopter, which is interesting. Why can't I find it? Here it is. Yeah, this one. And I think when I go back to do the frames for episode 1, I don't know if I am going to change this, even though like it doesn't really suit the style of the rest of the episodes, because I like the idea of it like that was the first frame I did with a human, and I don't want to like change it, so it's kind of like just a piece of history still in there. It's funny, I've actually still got this frame look, even with the motion. Ugh, look at it. Oh, wait, let me open that up again so I didn't close the timeline. So we've got that, and then it evolved into... Where did I change the new one? It's loading. Yeah, here. So we've changed to this. With the flame as well. Like I did the flame, so the flame on the lighter is like moving. Just much better than that. It's funny actually, I've got another example of frames that changed. Where are we looking? And this one might be a little bit more jarring. Yeah, originally this frame looked like this, where he's like, it's more darker and he's like looking over, but then it changed into more cartoony and he's like leaning back joking about advanced hydrotherapy or something. I might redo this one when it comes to doing the full one, because I think he stands out against the rest of the background a bit too much. But hello, the Gregster. Nice to see you. Nitpick from a smoker: if that's a cigarette, the smoke should be threads, not puffs. Yeah, whatever. Well, he's talking, so it's coming out like all... I don't know if I have any examples. This is another frame I'll redo. I'm going to redo this one because I think Jess just looks really weird there. Don't mind her there so much. You know, you've got the shadow of the dinosaur coming over her. I'll redo this frame from episode 1. Think. Just trying to think if there's any other changes. Oh, actually, it's funny. I actually brought that up because wait, is that the right one? Yeah, look. So in this one, this is like with the eyes. Look at his eyes at the end, like ooh. But if you look at Wesley on the edge here, look. So this frame that I'm gonna re-edit was already edited because I changed Wesley that to be more look more like Wesley, because that's not Wesley. But yeah, but I need to redo that again because I redid Wesley, but I forgot to redo Jude and make him look good and more like the actual character. Special edition. It's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Paolo says, can't wait for the special editions of DDX with more CGI stormtroopers and creatures now with the staff shoot first. The Mega Raptor kills people. This frame needs more Tanastropheus. Here you go. Here's a Tanastropheus for you, look. There you go. Are you happy now? Give him his hairy chest. You want a dream sequence where Tanastropheus says, Wesley. What else do I need to do here? That's a good point. Nigel! Nigel! No! hot creamy fart. Thank you for the tip. Says you are too kind. Enjoy your Tanastrophius. It was only there for a few seconds though. 5 seconds, $1 a second. Right, now I need to angle. Just do some cleaning up here before I add the eyes on. Nigel. Okay. Oops. Whoa, the hell? There's a many deaths of Nigel Supercut because the internet. Oh, brilliant. I wonder if they keep all of Craven's Nigels as well. Right, what do we need to do now? Oh, add. So Hank, he has... I'm going to thin these lines around his eyes a bit. Oop, not that much. He's got huge bags under his eyes. It's like a zombie. This is zombie. Zombie Hank. He's had the life sucked out of him. back to doing the Burke sweat. You can never have enough Burke sweat in your tense moment of dinosaurs. Okay, and now Hot Creepypasta says, wait, they programmed Nigel to scream. I forgot that. No, he's like a full AI. Yeah, so like when he screams, he's, you know, in pain. Mikey says, I still don't get the raptor dream Alan had in Jurassic Park 3. I thought it was a hint that the raptors were as intelligent as humans, creating a new society on the island. Well, it's basically Grant is theorizing that raptors were super intelligent and that had the asteroid or whatever didn't take the dinosaurs out, that they would have been the dominant species on the planet. So you're kind of right with that. However, the raptor dream sequence is because he's worried about going back to the island as he's on the plane. So he has a dream that no one is there flying the plane, so he's alone with a raptor, right? The raptor says his name because like a couple of days before or whatever, he was at Ellie's asking a parrot, essentially a modern day dinosaur, descendant of the dinosaurs, the birds, asking it to say his name, Alan. So that's why the raptor turns around and says Alan. That's why it's there. But it's completely pointless and could have been, and completely strange and weird, and uses a storytelling method of entering someone's subconscious, which no other Jurassic movie does. And it's just totally surreal. And if you removed it from the movie, it wouldn't harm Grant's arc whatsoever, because it doesn't add anything to the arc except ruin it. Oops. I love how I'm clicking and it's making a box. Like, can you see that? It's all because I'm not using my stylus to do it. If I use my stylus, it'll start to do it. But if I use my mouse, it starts to like automatically make a box and zoom it in. Rob Rice says, remember that tweet I mentioned yesterday? Well, I want to bring this up and start some discussion, plus a few others I found. I can't remember the tweet you mentioned, but go ahead. Start your discussion. Rev your engines. Rev your Rev your Nigels. He said it was the one from the paleo artist, Joshua Kunup? I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Where he said that Jurassic World 3 should start with Claire being in prison. I believe that he's saying that Claire should be responsible for the deaths in Jurassic World. Should also be responsible for the deaths in Jurassic World. No, she's not responsible whatsoever for any deaths in Jurassic World. Masrani was responsible for the deaths in Jurassic World because he was in charge. Claire was the only mistake Claire made in that movie, aside from obviously agreeing to even work in the park at the beginning, but even then, you know, people work at zoos and stuff, so, you know, whatever, is the fact that she didn't think to call the control room from the Indominus paddock to see if it was still in there. She panicked because she thought it's out because they saw the claw marks. So she jumped in her car and decided to call them while on the way to the control room. And that's part of her character because she's obviously very controlling. She likes to be in charge, and when she learns that, oh god, this thing might be out, her first instinct is to, I need to get to the control room, like I need to be in control of this situation. She assumes it got out because of the trap it laid. And then it's on the way when she's in the car that they have the whole, like, it's still in the cage, and she's like, what? I was just there. So it's a mistake, but she wouldn't go to prison for that because she's not, like, the thing set a trap for them, so it's not like she would have known that. They assumed it was out based on the evidence of it climbing up the walls. And yeah, so there you go. There's no responsibility for the people's deaths on Claire's shoulder. Paolo says she is as responsible as Masrani, Wu, and Hoskins. Nope, she's not. Masrani, but he was in charge. He was the one who decided to send the ACU out there with non-lethals. Wu was punished, as Big Shark points out. Hot Creamy Fart says, the implication I draw from that is that Hoskins' involvement went so deep to the foundations of Jurassic World that it would wound up getting rushed through the court to keep things quiet. He didn't have really any foundations with Jurassic World. He was in charge of InGen, and he was working with Wu in secret, but the actual park Jurassic World he didn't really have too much say in. Aside from like subverting the creation of the dinosaurs to do experimental things on the Indominus for his own personal, well, not personal, but for InGen's aim of testing the raptors. So yeah, so there you go, that's my answer. If anyone says Claire deserves to go to jail for what she did in Jurassic World, it's like, what did she do? Like, what did she actually do that's a jailable offence or something that would get her in trouble? Nothing. She did nothing wrong. Now, the interesting thing is, though, Fallen Kingdom, there would be more of a case of she would be in trouble if the authorities got a hold of the Lockwood Manor security cameras and saw her opening the cages for the dinosaurs. Then she might be in some trouble. Even though she didn't press the button to release them, she got them halfway there. She might not have eventually go to prison for that, but she would probably be in a heck of a lot of trouble. But you know. Okay, that's this shot done as well. Let me add a shadow under them. Might emphasize the sweat on there. Emphasize the sweat on her head a little bit. Can't really see it that much. Hot Cream Fat says Hoskins is a CIA globalist. It all fits, Jack. Right, so now what I want to do is actually cut out her eyes. Rob Rice says, what was that Clayton video where he talked about the volcano scene and mentioned about the dust cloud being edited in front of the pyroclastic flow? I can't remember, but I've done a video on that. It's on my channel. It's called Jurassic Misconception, the pyroclastic flow or something like that. It was in an interview with the animators. They said they added a dust cloud in front of the pyroclastic flow because they realised that Owen would die if the pyroclastic flow engulfed him. And if you watch the film and watch the cloud closely, there is a brown dust cloud that precedes the grey volcanic ash dust cloud. It's like the force of it is pushing up all dust and dirt in front of it. So even though no character stops to go, that wasn't a pyroclastic flow that killed Owen, like they have like a visual cue as to how he survived that. The thing that no one ever brings up when they talk about that scene is him jumping off the cliff all the way down that massive cliff to the water below and how he's okay doing that. But, you know, no one cares about that because even though that's more unrealistic. Right, now we're going to do it as cut out his eyes as well. Actually, I just do it like that and then get black, add it to this. Okay, now we're going to call this layer eyes 1 and then duplicate it, call it eyes 2. Right now hello, Neil. I feel like I want to make her mouth a bit smaller. Actually, it looks alright as it was. So you got eyes 1, eyes 2 as they look at each other. Alright, so we'll save this. Rob Rice says, another thing I wanted to point out was a YouTube video was made by Scanova the Carnotaurus, who basically criticised the viral marketing behind Fallen Kingdom, specifically the Isla Sorna part. Oh really? What was the complaint? They killed Isla Sorna. They killed it. It's dead. It's dead. Dead. I killed it. I killed Sorna. Hello, Jason. Right, and then what I like to do, because that's going to have some animation with their eyes, but sometimes what I like to do is I'll layer, like, flatten this, and I'll save this as like an image, so I've got like a spare Kate Hank, call it Kate Hank flat, because I've flattened the image. We'll save that in a different folder. Okay, right, well that's those two done. Just see what you guys are saying, and then I'm going to check my notes, and while I check my notes, then we'll move on. Rob Rice says, well, the title of his video is why I think the new released information about Isla Sorna is rather dumb. I left a link if you want to check it out. Ooh, I want to check that out. Does he use copyrighted music in it? Because I'll watch it right now. I think the new released information, so I'm guessing this was like back in the day. Oh yeah, it was 3 years ago. Okay, I'm not gonna watch it because it's old news. Right, anyway, where was I? Rob Rice says, on a more positive note, oh actually Paolo says, clearly didn't read the Lost World book or the JP Adventures book. It all spelled out the Sorna was doomed. I know, right? People seem to think these dinosaurs are immortal. Rob writes, on a more positive note, I have my own Robert-verse story, an exclamation point. He's a sauna after the events of Fallen Kingdom, summer of 2019 to be precise. Well. Now I can tick that off, because I've done that frame. Just consulting my book. Tick that frame. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So we need to open up this frame. Thing is though, like there was some people back in the day who would be like, oh, the viral marketing, why are they writing that why are they killing Sauna off? And it's like they just don't realise that like when we went to set, like as they were filming, before we did anything with the viral marketing, they were like, yeah, Sauna is empty. So it's like, okay. That's what we had to work with. It's not like we could just go in there and change it. They had a story they wanted to tell, whether we liked it or not. Luckily, I liked it. So I was like, yeah, this is good. I want to go with this. I find it kind of odd though, like with the Jurassic fandom, there's this like weird obsession with like the islands, as if like the islands are like characters, which I guess they are in a sense of like they have a presence and an atmosphere, but like to me they're just locations. It's just a plot of dirt. Like to me the story is the most important thing. And Sauna, Nublar, like obviously they hold a special place because of like their significance to what happens on those islands, but it's not like personally, like I'm not someone who's like desperate to go back to those islands or go back to them anytime soon. Like if I want a cool adventure film on Sauna, I'll watch The Lost World, or if I'm in the mood, Jurassic Park 3. If I want a good adventure movie on Nublar, I have now 3 movies to choose from. By the way, I'm not talking about Dominion at all, because I don't want to like break my NDA. So I'm still talking as if I've never seen Dominion. Keep that in mind. Hello, Jurassic Production. Jason Kruger says, so basically you put a hard place dictated by higher ups and all the blame gets put on the team rather than the people who truly decide it. Yeah, it's because they're the fans, I understand it, the fans first heard that news from us, so naturally they're going to be like, oh, these guys are destroying Sauna or whatever was labelled at our feet back in the day. But the thing was, it's like they overlook the fact that we're working off information we've been given. So Paolo says it's so weird, like the fandom has a set of beliefs that Jurassic should be one way. Yeah, and that's like any fandom really, but obviously being heavily involved with the Jurassic fandom, yeah, there's a good swath of people who have this certain image of what Jurassic should be, and it can be anything. Obviously, it's like what Crichton said when he talked to Charlie Rose about writing The Lost World. He said a sequel is a very difficult thing to do because it has to be the same but different. So you have to do a certain set of things to make it feel like you're watching like something from that world, but you've also got to innovate and do something different so it feels refreshing to the audience. And that's the game they're always playing when they do like follow-ups. But really Jurassic, the way Jurassic should be, is the first book. Go read the first book. That's how Jurassic should be. And the best place to experience that version of Jurassic is reading the book, because that is Jurassic Park. Jason says fans won't be happy no matter what the franchise does. Stay on the islands, complain. Leave the islands, complain. Kill Rexy, complain. Leave Rexy, complain. Well, obviously you get examples of people loving and not liking anything they do. So this is the thing I'm also surprised with a lot of fans out there is growing up, right? I went and saw the first film in the cinema. I saw The Lost World. I saw Jurassic Park. Like, I've been there from the beginning, right, of this franchise, except for reading the book. I was too young to read the book. But the thing I've noticed is the sequels. Jurassic World currently is the most successful sequel after the first movie in terms of critical reception and how much money the blooming thing made, right? That said, within the fandom, like the hardcore fandom, every sequel has had the same reaction from fans, except for Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3 had the most negative backlash, more than Fallen Kingdom when it was out back in the day. Over the years, it's garnered a bit more of like a cult following in the fandom. And Fallen Kingdom feels like the most divisive movie that they've made so far, but it's doing nothing that I haven't already seen happen with when The Lost World came out. It was the same thing. When Jurassic Park 3 came out, it's now there's like a divide amongst fans whether you like that movie or really don't like it. But and Jurassic World, I've had plenty of debates with fans who don't like that movie, but I know a lot of fans who do like that movie. And The Lost World, like, not many people liked that when it came out, and it's built a bit more of like fans loved it. And over the years, it's garnered more love, but it's also still got those people out there who really don't like the movie. Fallen Kingdom's just the newest one, so it'll seem like the worst one, experiencing this sort of like split amongst fans, but that'll fade over time. I believe it'll fade for the better. Like, I think people will really warm up to that movie over time. But there will be people out there who disagree with me on that, of course. But it's like, it's all the same. It's just the same cycle repeats. God, it's going to be interesting when Dominion comes out. It's going to be so interesting. Neil Finn says, I've never really one to care about what other people think. The only thing that matters is if I like it, because I'm not paying to see... Wait, the only thing that matters is if I like it, because I'm not paying to see other like it. Paying to see if I like it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The only thing I care about other people thinking, like other people's opinions, is if they break their standards. Like if they break their standards, then that's where I'm like, okay, now I'm involved in like what your opinion is. A good example of this is with the whole debate about the T-Rex in Jurassic World not looking like the one from the first film. That was a big one, because it's like, okay, well, your standard is it doesn't look like the animal it's meant to be, right? And without going into the whole, like, you know, there's the animatronic CGI versions of the design and all that sort of stuff in the first film. But that's when you go, that's why I brought up the whole, okay, well, if that's your standard, if it has to look exactly like the one from the film that it's meant to be, why do you consider the male T-Rex in Jurassic Park 3 not to be the bull from the Lost World? Because they use the exact same animatronic, same paint job, same scars, everything. Like, it just looks exactly the same. So why is that a different animal? And that's where I'm like, you know, you've got standards, right? If it has to look on screen exactly like the same as that, it's like, why then you do change your rules for one that looks really consistent? So consistent, in fact, they use the same bloody animatronic. But yeah. So that's where I'm like, okay, that's where my interest lies. Like, if you break your own standards, then I'm like, okay, I want to like poke and prod your idea. Okay. Neffin out says, the design for Dominion is good, but for God's sake, why did they give Brysonator attention? Dude didn't deserve it for how he acted on Twitter. I don't think they did, dude. They tweaked the Rex design, but not in the way that people expect. Like it doesn't really look any different really to what we saw in Fallen Kingdom. Which proves once again that the design was completely fine. But they changed the arms. It's like, why would you do that? Because it's like, now it doesn't look like any of the T-Rexes ever. You've changed its wrist shape or whatever to be more paleo accurate. You say their wrists are fixed, but it's fixed to the paleo accurate thing, but that's not fixing it. That's breaking the design that we already had in place. That's the thing that's wrong with that. But whatever, I don't really care. She looks awesome. It'd be nice to see people like shut up about the T-Rex design though. Paolo says, the Rex thing never made sense to me. It's the JP Rex. We all recognise that it is. But just because it has some slight differences, some people are up in arms. It's because they've stared too long into the abyss and it started to stare back. That's what it is. Like, they obsess over this T-Rex from their childhood so much that it's starting to stare back, and they don't. And when they see something, they're like, I don't like it. It's looking back at me. It's just a design. That's what it is. Who cares? It's not important to what the plot is. You know, so who cares what the makeup of the T-Rex is? As the saying that I love goes. Like, whenever debates come up for this sort of stuff, like I have this clip from one of the Hack the Movies videos. I've got it on my phone saved for this very thing. I'll play it to you. It's basically what I just said.
Not important.
Yeah, listen to this.
It's just not important to what the plots are.
That's
like, who cares what the makeup is?
That's it. He's talking about Klingons, how like the Klingons all look different in Star Trek, and that they made like a version, like one of the Enterprise episodes, they answered why the Klingons all look different. It's like, who cares? It's not important to the plot. It's like think of this, like nowhere in the new movies do any of the characters point out that that is the exact same T-Rex from the first film. So like you could just easily imagine it as a different one if you wanted to. Doesn't matter. It's just meant to represent T-Rex. Like there's no plot thread that comes up that it's important to know that that is the one from the first film. Like it's just not important to the story being told. Had they done that, then yeah, it would, but they haven't, and rightly so, because what would be the point? oh my god, it's the T-Rex that was from Jurassic Park. It's just been alive for so many years. Like, why even point that out? No point in that whatsoever. It's always seemed like a really pointless argument to me. But again, bring up the male T-Rex in Jurassic Park 3 and ask them if that's the one from the Lost World, and they all say no, it's a different T-Rex. Is it by your standards? Is it though? Is it? I'm not sure if this is the same category of who cares, says Jason, but would the Dilophosaurus debate affect anything? The JP Dilo being a juvenile or adult? I mean, conflicting evidence. Would it truly matter? What do you mean? Well, would it truly matter if the Dilo is an adult or a juvenile in Jurassic Park? Not really. Paolo says, yeah, I get that. Other than cool factor, there is no point in determining whether or not the Dilophosaurus was fully grown or juvenile unless it's important to the plot. Yeah, you know. And if they had like an adult one walk out or something, you'd be like, oh, there you go. I mean, in Jurassic World, we saw the hologram, and, you know, that one was clearly bigger than what we've seen with the one that attacks Nedry. But it's not, again, it's not really important to the plot. Now, here's where I might sound a little hypocritical, and I want to address this point, right? So one of the things I complain about for Camp Cretaceous, one of the things I brought up, I believe, in one of my live streams, is like the T-Rex doesn't have the scars. And it's like, okay, not important to the plot, right? But it is... if it's meant, like, if that's meant to be the exact same T-Rex that we're seeing from Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, it's like there's scars on it, like as part of its look and its features, but they just don't have them on there. I guess because they're like, it's not important to the plot. So I guess I guess I have to stand by my standards, right? It shouldn't bother me that it doesn't have the scars. Same with Blue's head sculpt in Camp Cretaceous. It's like, okay, it's meant to be blue, whatever, right? So I stick by those two, but then I'll complain about the Main Street not being there next to the Mosasaur paddock. Now this is where it does conflict with the plot, because those kids are meant to be like saved. If Main Street was there, they would be saved, but they've deliberately not put Main Street next to the Mosasaur paddock in season 1 because they didn't want the kids to be saved. So like they've changed the design to fit their plot, which is annoying because it's meant to be there, and if it was there, it would change their plot. So that's like annoying as hell. Jason Kruger says, but then if the Dilo came back in Dominion and was still tiny and someone said it was an adult, that would break consistency, wouldn't it? Do you mean if someone in the film said it was an adult? Because, like, hypothetically speaking, no, it wouldn't be breaking consistency. One, because these are all clones and genetically engineered dinosaurs, so they can look like however they want them to look. Neil Finart says, speaking of scars, am I the only one who was disappointed that the Rex doesn't have new scars from the Indominus in Fallen Kingdom and Dominion? She does. She does have new scars. They're along her back. And I believe there's one on her neck as well. See if I can get you a picture of it. Let me just find a comparison image. It's not really a good shot of from Jurassic World to show the difference. At least on the site I'm on at the moment. Let's see if we can find a better one here. You know what, maybe I am wrong. Maybe, yeah, there aren't any. I swear I saw some new ones. I swear. Maybe I was wrong. I'm trying to remember, I'm trying to line up like the Indominus scars. Maybe not. See if I can copy and paste it on here. Save image. Wait, copy image. Can I just paste it in? Nope. I'll have to save it then. Let's have a look. Because I thought the ones on the leg and there's some scars up here on the back that are new, but I don't know if these are raptor ones. And the one on the face there. I swear there was some new ones. Look how gorgeous that shot is. maybe I'm wrong. Oh, we stand corrected. Maybe they're not new. Anyway, where was I? I guess it just depends on how deep the Indominus cut her. Maybe the raptor's toe claws went in deeper and caused more substantial damage. I don't know. It's not important to what the plots are. It's my standard. Again, something that doesn't break that standard and I can complain about is the map change in Fallen Kingdom. Because they clearly did that to try and explain how the Mosasaur got out, even though that's like not what we were told when we were on set. But that is important to the plot because it affects the bloomin', you know, the guy waiting for the bloomin', what is it? The Mosasaur getting out. Although I guess the Mosasaur getting out doesn't really play too much of a role in the actual plot of that movie, aside from just being an example of a dinosaur out or monster getting out into the wild. Big Chuck says, what is that, a gun or a pipe? I'm not telling you. What is going on here? Change that to orange. You know what? Actually, I'll keep it like that. Shadow. No. Wrong angle. You know what? I actually kind of like that as that is. Maybe just try to add maybe a little bit more. No. Well, lens flare. That's kind of funky. I can do that in post. Right, save that as... barrel 1. Alright. I think I'm going to call it quits there, but just see what you guys are saying. I'm not gonna rush off. So you did 3 frames. Not bad. Creepypasta says, Godspeed Jack, thanks for the stream. Thank you, man. I'm just checking over things. I'll be heading off in a second. Trying to see if there's something interesting for you guys to... I could show you. What was I about to bring up? Oh yeah, I'm currently making this like image of all the title screens. I've got a title for chapter 4, but I'm debating on changing it because I don't know if it's good enough and it's kind of cheesy, and I'm like, I kind of want to tweak it. But yeah, these are all the... I wonder if I can bring up something. This is the background for it. So this is like, you got the titles here, and this is the background for the title for episode 4. So you're like looking up at the trees with the sun coming through. And this is, yeah, where the title comes along, so that would be down here. But I'm just trying to think like what I can change the title to. I need to think of like what the episode represents, because I named that I had the actual title for this chapter long before getting into it, and I thought, yeah, that's what I want to call it. But now I'm like here, I'm like, no, it needs to be changed. I'll come up a bit. Yeah. I'm also thinking I might redo this frame when I come to episode 1. Like redo the bird's eye view of the forest, because that's very simple looking. I love the intro to chapter 3, the 3D cells. It's awesome. The turnering. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to head off, guys. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. And thank you for the tip. Hot creamy fart. And I guess there's only one thing left for me to say. And that is... Nigel! 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 Nigel!